Hey and welcome to Simply Business from Essex to East London. On this episode, we have our guest Veena V from Mum to Millionaire. So without introducing yourself, I've got 8 quick fire questions for you, Veena. Are you ready?
I think I'm ready.
Okay, so the first one is, are Jaffa cakes a biscuit or a cake?
Oh, wow. A cake.
A cake. You're going with a cake. Okay. Tea or coffee?
Oh, tea all the way with 1 brown sugar in there.
Nice.
I love my brown sugar.
Instagram or Snapchat?
Instagram.
Pepsi or Coke?
Neither.
Fair enough.
I hate fizzy drinks.
I'm not a fizzy drinker either. Lemonade, I would say, actually, if I had to.
I'm a warm water kind of girl.
Oh, okay, nice. With lemon or just plain water?
Just warm water.
Okay, fair enough. Mac or PC?
Mac.
Yes. Winter or summer?
Oh, summer. I hate winter. My long-term plan is to migrate for 6 months.
That sounds amazing. Sun all year round, yeah? Just flying
exactly.
anywhere that's got the sun. Chase the sun. Nice.
Exactly.
Cats or dogs? Or neither?
Cats.
Oh, I'm not sure about that. And a topical one. Who is going to win the Football World Cup?
England, of course.
Oh, you're going with England. We're going to win, yeah? That's optimism for you.
The last time I think I watched football was the days when people like Emil Heskey used to play.
Emil Heskey?
About 15 years ago.
he played for England though, so it's still kind of topical.
Exactly, there you
go. Okay, so I've obviously done some research and had a look into all the stuff that you're going, but the people that are listening to this are not going to necessarily know much about you. So can you tell anybody who's listened to this podcast a little bit about yourself, where you're from, your hobbies, just you as a person?
So me as a person, so I'm a single mum to an extremely hyperactive child who is just up there, as you can see. Well, I say he's little, but he's actually 9 now. So he's and I'm really small, so he's basically the same height as I am.
Amazing.
He is a full-time job in himself. I'm surprised how I get to fit in other stuff. But when people ask me about my hobbies, it's like, I love what I do so much. So I class everything as like one life. So there's no business, family. It's like everything is all together. So I just love helping people in whatever way I can, whether that's through helping them get confident on YouTube or supporting other mums in business. And it's very it's like a continuation of everything. So after this interview, I've got 2 other ladies coming to my house actually, and I'm teaching them some editing.
Amazing. What do you use to edit? What's your program?
I use Final Cut Pro.
Final Cut. Hence your Mac user.
Yeah, I've got to say, I don't know how I survived without my Mac.
Yeah, I'm a Mac user. I'm a Mac user, but with Adobe Premiere Pro. So.
Oh, how does that work?
It's cloud based. It's cloud based now, so it's all it's all interesting. So, any listeners, we've just geeked out on editing right now.
Yeah,
so sorry about that.
Everyone's probably like, "What are they talking about?"
You lost me already. See you later.
Yeah, bye. Go stay.
No, yeah, please. Okay, and can you tell the listeners how you came up with the idea for your business, like where it was born from, and how it's evolved?
So I actually started working in the media industry. So when I was 16, I was kind of like the black sheep of my family. Like all my family work in the NHS and teachers. And then I was that weird child at the age of 5 that used to run around the house, like literally recording people.
Amazing.
Back in the day on my black cassette player. So I remember those days.
That don't know what a cassette is. Just Google it, people. Google it.
And I still have a cassette player to this day, just to, remind myself of the good old days.
Nice.
So that's how it started, really. I was in the media industry, doing lots of radio work. And I did that for a long time. So kind of 10 years in and out of the media industry. Radio, TV, a lot of online stuff for people like the MOBA Awards, BBC ESSEX, regional stations in radio in London. And then I had my son when I was 22, and that kind of like changed the game a lot.
Okay.
I was like, oh, how am I going to manage, like, you know, being a mum and working in the media? Because it was really long hours and you're not at home, obviously, a lot of the time. So after that, I had to get a normal job. So from going like working in the radio to, you know, interviewing celebrities, really, you know, it was a really diverse lifestyle. I was out all the time. I loved just being out and around people. But then, yeah, I had to literally get a reception job in the city in London. And I did that for 2 years because I literally had no money. I was like, wow, this is a fun life. That's the way my life is going to be.
Back to the real world with a bump. Yeah.
Exactly. It's like, but I think a lot of people might resonate with this. Is like, you're going to a job, but inside you're literally crying every day. So it was an amazing location where the job was, like right opposite St. Paul's Cathedral. Amazing. One of those massive glass buildings. I would go there, but I would look out the window and I'd think, wow, I just want to cry because I don't want to be here.
With a somber soundtrack in your ears whilst the rain poured down the glass, yeah?
No,
they
really
can picture it
like
now.
that.
They can picture
Black
it now.
and white. Yeah. I'd play the sad music.
Amazing.
Like, never give up on your dreams.
Yeah.
And then I literally just quit, which I wouldn't advise anyone to do because I didn't have anything to go to. I was like, I can't do this anymore. I'm just going to quit. But the moral of the story is never burn your bridges, because I literally quit. I sent an email out to the whole building, which was like hundreds of people that work there. And I just let everyone know, like, oh, thanks. It's been great working here. This is what I'm doing now. Yeah. And it's then when one of the partners of it was like an international headhunting company, they're like, Veena, why did you never tell us that you used to do all of this stuff? And they were my first client. I basically filmed.
Yeah, that is.
Yeah, I ended up filming loads of videos for them. And they were literally my biggest client for about 3 years.
That's,
where I was just filming.
That's amazing. You started your own thing, but you were seeing the same faces.
Exactly.
Now anyone new again.
Saying that though, I'll tell you something. There was the CEO of the company, and being a receptionist, I learned that so many people, when they're in a high up position, they basically treat you like rubbish. There'll be a lot of people that wouldn't even like talk to the receptionist. And the CEO of this company never talked to me when I was there. And then one day when I had to interview, film him, he was like, oh, hi, like, how's everything going? And I was like, you never talk to me. Do you even know who I am?
You became someone overnight.
Exactly. Because I left and I had my own business, I became someone. But moral of the story is never burn your bridges. But if you are in a high up position, like, I believe you treat everyone the same.
100%.
No matter who you are. And I think it's, you know, it proves what kind of person you are as well when you do that.
Definitely. I 100% agree. And can you tell the listeners a bit about at the point you're at with your business now? So what are you doing? What are you involved in? Obviously that was a great, you know, that start's amazing. And that just that bit of never burn your bridges is amazing. So, but where are you now? What are you doing? Obviously you've got people coming over later and all this kind of stuff. So where are you?
Coming over for a drink of Prosecco. No, it's not. I don't do that. So right now in my business, I'm really developing more of, I'm one of these people that constantly changes, which is good in business. But I think personal circumstances in my life, I'm currently doing a lot of offline stuff. So I'm currently doing a lot of going into London, going to deliver workshops in front of, 10, 20, 30 business owners at a time. I'm doing a lot of that kind of stuff. However, now I'm trying to transition when I'm doing more online things. In regards to my son, I just need to be at home in Essex in this area a bit more, in terms of childcare. One day, Ray, if you ever have kids.
Maybe. But I do hear a lot about childcare. So, I work with people that all have children. So,
Yeah, sometimes it's not the easiest of things. So I'm trying to transition, even though I love getting out there and meeting people. I'm trying to do a lot more online stuff now. So I'm launching a membership group hopefully at the end of the year, which is purely for mums. It's going to be like an affordable membership program, which is taking all my skills of what I'm currently doing, but doing like every month, obviously, modules, and just getting them confident and doing stuff like this. Because so many people, this would be daunting too if they've never done a podcast, they've never done a YouTube video.
Of course.
It's really hard to market your business if you can't get in front of the camera or you can't be confident in speaking to people. So that's going to be the real kind of core target of my membership group, which will be launching later in the year. And just doing other stuff like ebooks. That's such a great opportunity. Again, anyone who's listening and you think, oh, I could never write an ebook. Like, it's not that difficult. Like, I just blocked out a week and I was like, I'm going to do this. I'm going to write this ebook. I just sat down, wrote it in my garden, and it's out there on Amazon right now. And it's like 35 more ways to make money in your business. So it's really great if you're starting out in business, and yeah, anyone really can do it. Like, I think the message of this podcast really is like, you can do so much stuff from home. You don't have to leave your house.
I'm in my home now. You're in your home. Look, we're chatting.
Exactly.
And we've only just met over, a couple of emails exchanged, and yeah, we're now chatting away. So
Ray stalked me for a week.
You can't tell them that.
No,
a little bit true, kind of. I just message quite a lot. I call it persistence. That's what I call it.
Well, I applaud you for being consistent. So.
Thank you. Okay, so we're going to move on in a minute, just more about kind of what's going on currently in your business. But before that, I would, and because this is all gearing towards what's going on in right on local doorsteps, and people just don't really kind of turn to that. They know what's going on in the news, but they don't know what's going on up the road, especially in regards to business. So just maybe 20 to 30 seconds to tell people, and it could be, hopefully there's at least just, one person that is your target audience that's listening to this, but
at least one.
Yeah, at least one. Yeah. I don't know if there will be, but what you offer, because I really want you to be able to say what you offer for people, so that they can walk away knowing that, I need to go and speak to this person because that's actually what I want.
Yeah. With me, so it's very interesting at the moment because, like I said, I'm trying to do more stuff online, but I'm trying to do more stuff in Essex because I always go into London. I'm like, why am I not utilising where I live? So again, hopefully by end of this year. So currently I do meetups. Okay, so there's two strands to my business. One is helping get people confident with social media videos and YouTube. But the other side is I run meetups for women who just want to get supported, they want to get inspired, and they want a place where it's not awkward, because sometimes you go to networking and you're just like, oh my God, I don't know who to talk to. I feel really out of place. So my networkings are really different. I actually literally push people together and I'm like, talk. And then we, everyone talks. Everyone has a great time. So currently they're in London, but hopefully I should be launching in Lakeside by the end of the year. So so if people want more information about that, I should. All I need to do really is find a venue.
Okay, that's fine. That's fine then. I don't need to cross my fingers. You're going to do that. That's fine.
All I need to do is find a venue. I'm just not being enough, action taking at the moment. So, So if people want to go to the networking event, so any women in business, you don't even have to have started. If you just want to come somewhere to get support, just go to mum2millionaire.com and all the details will be on there. And hopefully I'll see you in Lakeside.
Amazing. Mum2millionaire.com people. Go there.
Great, you can come along as well.
What, honorary woman?
Honorary male.
Okay, fine. Thank you. Maybe I'll take you up on that. I don't know if I'll wear a wig though. We'll see. Okay, so moving to the present, and the first thing I want to talk about, and only because it came up yesterday, and I just want to see if you have a view on it, an opinion, or you don't know much about it at the moment, but is Instagram TV. This is just the current one-liner to make this all hopefully fit into where it sits in history, I suppose. But 2 days ago, Instagram hit 1 billion followers and they launched Instagram TV. So I just wanted to know if you have any thoughts, considering you do YouTube and it's meant to be rivaling that. Do you have any thoughts on it?
Right. So I heard that you could now do long form content video on there, but I didn't know it was called Instagram TV.
Yeah, IGTV, I think.
Okay. So for me, that's very interesting, obviously. However, YouTube for me, I believe every business needs to have a YouTube channel because it's all about search. So I could spend so much time making Facebook videos, and it's great. It's easier for like sharing on Facebook, and there's especially my mum audience. There's a lot more mums on Facebook that can share my content. However, I've actually got clients to my business and I keep on building my brand is through the power of YouTube search. Because you don't go on Instagram or Facebook to search for something like how to film using your iPhone or, things like that. So for me, I still spend a hell of a lot of time on YouTube. However, I do supplement it with doing Instagram lives or Facebook lives to keep on building that brand.
Of course,
so it's very interesting. I probably won't put a strategy in place for Instagram TV, but I will be doing it.
Yeah. And we probably jumped way ahead because I'm sure people just maybe that listen to this haven't started yet necessarily or anything there. So talking Instagram TV may just be blown out of water, but where it's been in kind of the news and it's a big thing right now, I thought it would be a good question just to see your thoughts.
That's a very good question.
So how do you or have you interacted and engaged with your local community through your business recently? So obviously you talked about Lakeside and Meetup. So how are you doing that?
Recently, not much.
Fair enough.
This was my, light bulb moment literally a few months ago. I was like, I am being silly here. Why am I going into London? Like there is clients and mums literally on my doorstep. And for some reason, because I think I've always gone into London. So in a way, it's like you don't think about it sometimes, hence why I'm doing that. But at my son's school a couple of years ago, when I actually first launched my business, I was doing YouTube Club for the kids. So I was doing that once a week. I did that for a year. So I suppose that's the one local community thing I did. And also I've interviewed a lot of mums who are also based in Essex. So those two things I've done. But oh my God, I could never be a teacher. I used to have the children for 1 hour a week. And I had a headache after. I was like, I can't cope. So any teacher that looks after my son, like he is very... he doesn't fit into the school system, let's say. So, I salute him.
Get home and ask for a warm water straight away before anything else.
Exactly. Calm down,
Well, you said you don't do Prosecco or tea or coffee, so it has to be a warm water. But yeah, no, I'm the same. I've run workshops, lots of workshops. Previously, I was a drama teacher for a while. And it was in a private college, so it's slightly different mentality in terms of the way the students were. But yeah, I'm pretty sure I can deal with that. So yeah, I definitely hats off to all the teachers. Lots of respect for putting up with the noise. I think as well. The numbers of noise is what I think.
Oh, it is, and it's constant. And then you have to learn to deal. I think one boy started crying once, and I was like, oh my God, how am I supposed to deal with this? Because obviously I don't know if it's the law, but obviously you can't touch a
of course.
child.
Yeah.
I was like, I want to hug him, but am I allowed to hug him? What do I do?
Of course.
So I just had to be like, it's okay. Like, there's no need to cry.
Just lots of hand calming gestures.
Come on, everyone.
The other thing I was going to say on the community, and the reason why I'm trying to focus a lot on Essex and my local community is because I actually think it's become easier to potentially get clients from further afield because of online presence. I had someone email me from Florida and was like, will you do some video for me? And I was like, well, yeah, I will, but like, isn't there people in Florida that do that? As an amazing as it sounds, and of course it is amazing, and I would have, it didn't end up going through, which is fine. But in my head, I was just like, what about, the guy or the girl trying to make it just up the road? You could use them, and I'm sure they probably did. I don't know if they did, but I'm keeping faith. So it made me do like a complete U-turn and go, hang on, what's on my doorstep? Who can I be working with? Who can I help? Who can I try and support? And still, I think within the community, there's still lots of people are dubious about being necessarily approached and will rather go online and find people for themselves, which I kind of understand. But this is what this whole podcast is really about, is how are people using community? And if they're not, that's fine. And are they planning on doing that, basically?
Yeah. That's why I think this is a really good idea for a podcast, because it is, and it's a good niche. Like, if other people are like, I'll be listening to your podcast now and be thinking,
you're the one listener.
One listener. When you see that one download every week, it'll be me.
Yeah.
I think it is really important to get together with the local community and try and do more stuff, because I do feel, and again, this is why I'm launching the Mum to Millionaire meetups in Essex, because I do feel there's not enough going on in Essex. Everything is in London, and obviously as we talked about, I'm guilty of that because I am doing everything in London myself. So if we can start, you know, like you said, support the local community and try and find ways how we can all connect together.
Yeah, it's strange. It's about it's turning in the local community. It's getting probably a bit deep now, but it's actually widening the world, because you're saying I go into London loads all the time. Well, London's the hub, and I get that, and that's great. But actually, there's also the rest of the world out there, and by opening small bits of hubs around in different communities, you're actually widening the world, and that's what's a bit crazy with online, is that everything becomes so.
It's like we don't know who our Ray. We could both live on the same road, and we don't know, but we're both going into London.
It's true. It's true. That is actually true. We don't, just so everyone knows, we don't. But, not that I've stalked and I know where you live. I'm just saying.
How do you know where I live?
After you've already pitched that I'm a stalker, brilliant, great.
I was like, I'm sure my address isn't anywhere on the internet.
No, it's not. So creativity is a big thing for me. So, and again, it links back to small businesses, or local businesses. A lot of the time I feel like they get into the stage where they don't think they can do certain things because they're small or because they're just a person. And I don't believe in that. I believe that you can be creative no matter what industry you're in and no matter how big your business is. But I also think that you can, and you can be innovative even though you're small and just by yourself and all that kind of stuff. So how important do you think creativity is for your business, which is quite topical, and what types of things do you do to get creative or to be creative?
Firstly, I think it's really important sometimes to schedule. I know this is going off topic here, but schedule unscheduled time. So, you know, you like,
yes, I got it.
Schedule in your diary time where there's nothing in there. Because I feel when I've got nothing in my diary and I just go and sit in the garden or in my living room and I got my cup of tea this time, and I just write stuff down, that is when I'm the most creative, because you haven't got any noise, you haven't got social media in front of you, you haven't got, and you can really start thinking about ways in your business that you can be different and stand out from everyone. And with social media now, like all of this is free. Like we don't have what we're doing right now. We are not paying for it. And my push to everyone listening is, if you're not taking advantage of social media, of all these free tools, like to interview people, Zoom. Oh my God, my favorite app at the moment is Anchor.
No, you can't say it. I'm coming to that question later. No, it's fine. You can say it, because I love Anchor too. I love Anchor.
I love it. But okay, we'll talk about that later. But all the apps, there's so much stuff. Even now on my YouTube channel, I'm actually going to do a whole playlist of free editing software, because I've realized that's the number one question I get. And I was like, oh, I need to start doing more videos like that. There's free editing. There's free podcasting. YouTube is free. Facebook free. Imagine in, I don't know, 5 years time, Facebook might start charging us to post. We don't know that.
Yeah, exactly.
So this is why it's so important. And I'm guilty of it. I think I should even be pushing myself more say, I think I should be releasing a YouTube video every day. And I'm not doing that at the moment. But that is my aim, to be doing that. So, and in terms of creativity, it's like you can get onto Instagram and interview someone. It's very, I did this with my friend the other day. He wanted to practice. He's a music producer, and he was like, oh, I don't want to. He's very obviously used to being behind the camera. Okay. So we did about 5 Instagram lives together where we're just talking about, like, we talked about the law of attraction. We were talking about, like, you know, why are we even friends? Because we're so not like connected, like we're so a random pairing of friendship. But yeah, there's so many ways to use free tools and be creative, interview people, build connections, and
which links nicely to the next question, which is, how do you advertise your business, and what's been most effective for you? So you've talked about a lot of streams there, and they all resonate with me because I'm trying to do exactly the same. But what do you do to advertise, and do you found has been the best for you and your business?
The best for me has been YouTube and Facebook Live. So for me, I always go, and I go on about YouTube a lot, but for me, it's getting that search traffic. So people find me constantly through searching. I'll give you an example, because I hate when people say stuff and they're like, yeah, but how did she do it? Yeah. So I think once, I don't know, I do a lot of videos on tutorials on how to film on your phone, or, you know, the top 3 ways to make your video look more professional. one lady found my video. She was in London. She subscribed to my channel. Then she found my other channel through the Veena YouTube tips channel, which was Mum to Millionaire.
Yep.
Now she doesn't miss a meetup. She comes to every single meetup
Amazing.
through YouTube.
Amazing.
And the same thing has happened with Facebook Live. I've done Facebook Lives before, and yeah, people just see it through word of mouth. I think someone's son saw my Facebook Live once and they told their mum, you should go to Veena's meetup. So it's very much using the power of social media and word of mouth.
Yeah, definitely. And that has been effective for you, obviously, in that way.
Yeah.
Because obviously a lot of people do it and then they post their first video and they don't get many views or they don't get anything from it, and then they're like, oh, well, that was a waste of time. But I know personally it's about a journey you have to go through.
Exactly. And it's about being as consistent as you can. And I know that's difficult. And I call myself the queen of inconsistency. I do some videos, then I'm like, oh, I haven't uploaded a video for like 2 months. But when I have been consistent, people need to realize, if you've got 10 views on a video, don't think, oh, it's only 10 views. That's still 10 people.
Exactly.
And if that one person watches 10 of your videos, then they might book you after that.
Yeah, definitely.
I found that a lot. Another example, my podcast, another mum in Basingstoke, she's a fitness entrepreneur. She found me on iTunes. She listened to my podcast, I think, for about 6 months. And then she contacted me. She's bought like £100 ticket to one of my workshops. She's been a speaker at one of my events. She's been, so it all does work out. So, and I've had the same thoughts as what you mentioned before, like, oh, you upload something, no one watches it. But you might have to start doing stuff for a year and then you'll see the benefits in a year's time. I
agree. And I think people are too caught up in that kind of viewing number. Whereas I asked a question on my Instagram a while ago, would you rather 1,000 followers or 1 follower? And lots of people said 1,000. And I was doing it on purpose to entice them to say, but if the 1 follower is the 1 person that helps your business, then it doesn't matter if you've got 1,000 followers, because none of them might talk to you, engage with you, ever speak to you, but you might have 1 and that's enough. So. Exactly.
A direct example of what you just said is like one of my YouTube channels, I think it's got like, I don't know, nearly 8,500 subscribers. But my other channel, the Mum to Millionaire one, 1,000 subscribers, much more engaged.
Amazing.
Much more engaged than on perception, you'd think, oh, wow, like she's nearly hit 10,000 subscribers. But I can tell you, I'm probably in the long run going to make more money and more difference in the world from the smaller engaged audience. So
definitely, it's just a perception thing, isn't it? People looking in, they have this, but it's not necessarily the reality underneath. What do you? Okay, so focusing a bit more on your business. Last question for this section, and we're nearly done, I promise. What do you think is the most unique thing about your business?
Oh, the most unique thing I think is being realistic. Like, I'm very realistic and raw and authentic in my advice. So I don't just say, these are the 10 tips to getting 1,000 subscribers on YouTube. I might do a video called that to like hooking people with the title and headline.
Of course.
But then in the actual content of the video, I'm very realistic in what I'm saying. And I think the main feedback I get from anyone that sees any of my content for whatever business it is literally like, we love how real and raw you are, because I'm not scared of what people think. Like, if I've had a rubbish day, or if I made a course and hardly anyone bought it, I'll just tell people. You need to, and
there's
I
an
understand
honesty there.
I understand why other people don't want to do that, going back to perception, but I literally don't care. I would rather be honest and say, look, this is what it's like to be a business owner. You might spend a few months making a course and then one person will buy it.
Yeah. And that is so true. That is so true. I'm preparing so a little bit like you, tutorials, but I'm doing it all about the phone. So I'm doing about how you can manage media and business all on your phone. You don't necessarily need a computer anymore, that kind of stuff. And I've done a couple of trials, and just that one person's watching, you're like, oh, well, that wasn't good enough, that wasn't work, I'll go back to the drawing board. It's just part and parcel of the process that you have to go through. But being honest about it, I think is a massive thing. So I commend you on your realisticness. Is that
Thank you.
I don't even know.
I don't know if that's a word.
Okay, so we're just going to talk a bit about the future. I've only got 3 questions for this. So what are you most excited about for your business in the next 12 to 18 months?
Oh, I'm so excited about the power of Amazon Kindle and Audible. I've got one ebook at the moment, but it's my aim by this time next year to have at least 10 ebooks, but the audio versions as well, because I've just seen a massive market in Audible. I think there's only 100,000 books. That could be wrong, so don't quote me, but I think it's something about 100,000 books that have been turned into Audibles. When you think about it, it's not that much when there's probably hundreds of thousands or millions of books currently on. So for me, I see that as a big opportunity to make these ebooks that are really affordable, like 99p, 1.99, but then translate them into Audible. So that's what I'm actually currently really excited about, and seeing where that goes in terms of passive income. Because like I said before, I want to be spending a lot more time backing ESSEX, at home or in the area. And for me, passive income is really going to be top of my agenda, I think, moving forward.
And this, again, I think is going to link great into the next question, which is where you probably get to talk about Anchor, which is what is your favorite, most productive, most useful tool, app or piece of technology you use or are looking at in your business, and why? So I know you mentioned it earlier. Anchor. So is it Anchor? And you can give another one later, but I know all about Anchor. So tell the listeners about Anchor, please.
I cannot express how excited and happy I am with Anchor. We could literally have an Anchor party, right?
Yes, I agree. And not enough people know about it. And I've been telling everyone about it, and they're like, never heard of it.
Every single one of my clients. Okay, let me tell you how easy Anchor is. So if people don't know what Anchor is, it's a new podcasting apps. You don't have to do what me and Ray do sometimes. We might go out or do it over Skype or Zoom. You can literally just record your podcast on your phone. This is how simple it is. You record it on your phone, and then you press a button and it publishes to every single podcasting platform out there. I don't know if you're using Anchor at the moment.
I'm going to be. So I've had it for over a year. I've been just listening to things and looking into it. I got told about it, and then I've just been doing stuff. I do want to go there, and that's actually almost why this podcast is kind of, because it is that easy, and I love listening to podcasts myself. So I wanted to do that, but again, getting people familiar with it and that kind of stuff is the next stage, I suppose. But if I'd have known, maybe I would have done this one on Anchor.
Anchor! But this is how invested I am in Anchor. I've actually just literally, 2 days ago, switched my podcasting host over to Anchor.
Amazing.
Because that is how excited I am about that. And now I'm going to be able to do a daily podcast. Because before I would find it so difficult to be consistent with it, because I'd be like, oh, now I have to edit this part, and now I have to transfer it over here. Now I have to do that blog post. And now it's literally bang. I think I literally did one the other day, sat on my sofa. I just got my phone out, recorded the audio, and bang, it's everywhere. And that's probably got the same amount of views as all my other.
Amazing. There you go. See? So anybody who's listening, go to the App Store, download Anchor, and at least give it a look around, play with it for a while, check it out, and then if you're into podcasts, then go from there, right?
Exactly. And again, every business, I think some people, again, might be more scared to do a Facebook Live or YouTube. With podcast, it's simply your voice. No one knows who you are. You can, like I said, the technology now, I wish there was Anchor when I launched my podcast in 2015. Seriously, I reckon I'd be a millionaire.
Well, you're on the road to it anyway, Mum to Millionaire. So you've got.
That's what I call it, Mum to Millionaire. It's my journey to becoming a millionaire. But that I'm so excited.
Is there any other anything else you would recommend? Just while we're here, and because we mentioned it previously, if there's not, that's fine. Anchor's a great one.
Yeah, to be honest, for me, Anchor is the main one. And just obviously going back to YouTube again, is kind of the YouTube live element of that as well, where you can just get your phone out. Again, I can be in my living room, press the button, and you go live on YouTube. Again, it's so powerful for businesses just to be able to. Like a behind the scenes, you could be at your workplace, like Ray could do it after this podcast. Like, I just, recorded a podcast. We talked about X, Y, and Z. It's just so quick and easy now to do live videos.
Definitely agree. And then the last question, and it's almost just a bit of hopefully value, not that there's not been value in this because it's been amazing, but for anybody listening who it kind of wants to start out or get a job. So the way I've worded it is the scenario is someone's just left school, college, university, or maybe unemployed. And you are advertising for a job. You might not be. This is the scenario, just so that people don't start hitting you up. What's the job? But you were advertising. What one thing do you think they could do to get your interest for your job position?
Oh, make a video.
There you go. You've done it.
You've got to go above and beyond. Going back to my radio days, there was obviously loads of people that wanted then, I don't know if it's as popular now, to work in the radio industry, especially as a presenter. So even the station my first station where I got a job at in Oxford, they would get hundreds of demos sent every single week to make myself stand out. This sounds really stupid, the context of what I just said about. But there was no YouTube then. But I literally put my CV on pink paper. Yeah. So to make it like stand out. Yeah. And then I actually did a personalized demo for them. So I didn't just send, me, pretending to be a presenter. I did it as if I was already a presenter for them.
Amazing.
So it's called Passion 107.9, Oxford's sexiest dance and R&B. So I literally just pretended I was a presenter and sent it to them. But that is what got their attention, because I just made sure that I could stand out. Maybe you don't want to send your CV into a corporate company on pink paper.
But maybe you do. Maybe you do. I say go for it.
It's a bit different.
Maybe I shouldn't say that because it might be bad advice, but yeah.
You might get pink letters one day now, right?
That's all right. I love that.
But it is, and I said this to my cousin recently because he just came out of uni, he couldn't find a job. And I went, you need to find ways how to be different. How many people have just come out of university and you're all doing exactly the same thing? You're all sending your CVs and cover letters. How are you different? I said to him, get a website. Again, you can do it for free. Yep. Get a website, get a blog, do a video on your mobile phone saying what your qualities are, what you're good at, what you can bring to the job role. It's really about going above and beyond. If you really want something in life, you've got to put the effort into it. And
the being different part is actually just being you, because what you've done is change to be like everybody else. But if you just be you and do what you would do to try and try and impress someone, that's the different part. Yeah, I'm totally agree.
Yeah.
Okay, well, that's all my questions. I don't know if there's anything you want to add, but it has been great fun. Thank you very, very, very much for your time. I know it's precious. I wish you and your business all the luck. I'm definitely going to be following and listening and checking all your stuff out. And you never know, I might see you in Lakeside real soon.
We might do. Oh, no, thank you so much. And well done to you, Ray, for doing this as well. I think it's really good to have a podcast that brings the community together, and hopefully this could be like see yourself as a connector. This could connect businesses with each other. So
definitely, I mean, I love to network and speak to people anyway. So yeah, that's really is the plan, to get to know local businesses, what they're doing, also what their problems are. And like you said, maybe I'll be, as time goes on with the podcast, be able to go, hang on a minute, I know someone who I've already spoke to someone who can solve that problem. So then exactly. So yeah, it's great. Yeah. Well, thank you very much. I'm gonna stop the recording now if I know how to do this, because I don't want to cancel the whole thing. Right, I've stopped recording.